So loops are basically structures that helps us to be able to repeat a set of instruction or a block of code. Remember the first time that we mentioned the block of code, we are talking about reusable block of code, and that was functions. But you also have cases where it's not just about reusing, it's about repeating a block of code. You want to repeat a block of code. Um, Say you want to repeat it 100 times, 50 times, 1 million times. In programming, generally, you would have situations where you would have to repeat and repeat things. And writing, it's practically impossible to just write code without having a structure that helps you to repeat. Say, for example, you want to write a program that wants to search for a particular individual in the midst of, say, 1 million people. For you to do that, you would have to repeat the search across 1 million people. And you possibly can't write a code that will go through each of the 1 million people. You need a structure that you can just call that will do the repeat. And, and that is what I want to introduce to you. Loops. The loops are structures that helps us to repeat blocks of code. And I'll be introducing you to just one type of loop in this video for simplicity's sake. That's the for loop. So the for loop, the word for the for loop is the for, and inside the for we'll define the counter. So this is me defining a variable that I want to use as a counter. Say for example, I want to use my high as a counter. And after defining the high, I will need to state the starting point of my counter. Say I want to start counting from 0, and I want to count from 0 down to, say, I want to stop before I get to 10. That's the meaning of this. I want to start counting from 0, and I want to stop before I get to 10. If I want to stop at 10 on dot, I put an equal to in front of it. So I want to stop before I get to 10. So it starts counting from 0 to 10. Another thing that you put, which is the third item here, is how many steps am I going to be counting? You can count from 0 to 10 in 2 steps. You can count from 0 to 10 in 1 step. So for you to tell the computer the amount of step, you write something like this: I equal to I plus 1. So for every step, I want to increase my counting by 1. And here you can now state what you want to do. Say, for example, you want to console.log I. This is a very simple version of a loop. I want to console.log I. Let me run this and let's see. It's counted from 0 to 9 and increasing it by 1. I'm saying for every time the new I will be equal to the old I plus 1. If I increase this by 2, this is what I will be having. So it was counting in 2s. You can count in 3s and 4s. Usually, a lot of times in programming, we do a lot of counting in 1s, and that is why a shortcut or a shorter way of writing this was created, which is I plus plus. I plus plus is the same thing as saying I equal to I plus 1. Let me write that I plus plus out here and run this. With this, I've explained my for loop. How you use your for loop varies, and you would move into that when you get into programming core. This is just introducing the concept, and I'm introducing to you loops using for loops. I don't want to complicate things for you at the moment now. So introducing loops using for loops. My for loops would have a counter, and the counter will have my starting point, my ending condition, and the iteration steps, how I want to iterate Then I have my set of instructions inside the loop. It can just be a one liner and it can be many lines, but every action that is inside this loop will be repeated as long as the conditions above are met. Thank you.